Oh, good one, good one. Oh. Come on, stay on there, stay on there, stay on there, stay on there. Come on up, buddy. Come on up, buddy. Oh. Haha, yeah. Hey guys, Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to Tech. No, wait, that's not me. I don't have that many subscribers. What's up, fishing friends? No, damn, that's Debo. It's still not me. I don't have that many subscribers. What's up, guys? Fleetwood here. Um, First and foremost, I've got to meet myself on that intro. Um, Catching a 2 pound bass, if that, and getting that excited because it was the first, fish of the season, the first bass of the season. Uh, there's got to be some way to meet myself, so I'll probably loop some videos in or make some little cuts or something. But I thought it was kind of funny how I reacted. Oh, good one, good one. Oh, haha, yeah. But some of the guys that I watch, mentioning tactical bass, and those guys are phenomenal. They know everything there is to know about fishing. Debo, just a great guy, fun to watch. But one thing that really stuck out to me when catching that fish and the excitement I had was a guy named Nick, the informative fisherman, where he always says the tug is our drug. And for a fisherman, that's very true. Um, there is no greater excitement than catching fish for a fisherman, for somebody who really enjoys this pastime, this hobby. So with that, I'm going to get into this next video. Um, Guys, let me know in the comments below if you have your confidence baits, what they are, and if there's a specific time of year that you use them. Confidence goes a long way in fishing. There's just nothing that can be said otherwise. You can use the best bait in the world, and it's only going to be as good as you feel using that bait. So confidence is huge. Confidence is a major player. Getting started on confidence baits. One that I have and I use a lot early in the season is a jerk bait. This one is from Yo-zuri. Picked this up, just wanted to try it. I've seen the brand around for a while and never tried one. This particular model I've used a couple times now. Just kind of flipping it around little creeks and stuff. It suspends very well. Has really good darting action. So not bad for the price either. So Yo-zuri, get them at Walmart, Bass Pro, Tackle Warehouse, whatever. But it's one of those baits where they're a little bit on the lower end of the price point, and you can get them at Walmart and places like that, and they work. They do what they're supposed to do. Jerk baits, the best reason to use them in their most, what brings them the most success is that when fish are schooling, they can fire up the entire school. You get this thing darting, diving, and then just dying, sitting still in the middle of a school. All it takes is one. It could be a 10-inch, 12-inch bass. One hits it, and it fires the school up. You cast back out to it, and eventually you're going to get the bigger fish in that school. So these aren't the biggest, big fish baits, but in the right circumstances, the right time of year, they catch numbers, and they will get you big fish as well. Alright guys, the next confidence bait here is a chatterbait. This one is a jackhammer. I've got two of them. I can only afford that. I can only afford two jackhammers. These things are crazy expensive. But the chatterbait Elite and chatterbait Custom, much cheaper, work very well. Very solid baits. Stick away from, or I'd stay away from the originals. They just don't work as well. They don't hold up as well. Get a lot of rust in the eyelet and on the hooks, and I haven't had that happen with the Elites the customs or the jackhammer. So um, just my 2 cents there. Stay away from the originals, in my opinion. These things are great around emerging grass, around rock bottoms. Probably want to stay away from wood, but most cover, these things come through well. Cause a whole bunch of ruckus with this thing just going back and forth, causing all kinds of vibration. Um, Matching the skirt to the trailer, with this kind of a green pumpkin, I'll do a green pumpkin Zinco or something along those lines to kind of mimic a bluegill, or I'll go with a crawl like a rage crawl or something to mimic a crayfish. But anything going, white or white and black flag, white and chartreuse, anything along those colors, I'm going to throw some type of a paddle tail, either a Kitech or a Rage Swimmer, Zinco. With a Kitech, thread it upside down. It'll swim better, it'll swim faster. The speed of the tail will match the speed of the head. Learn that from the guys at Tactical Bass, and they have a great video on chatterbaits. It's like 30 some minutes, but it's full of information, full of great detail. Those guys are amazing in their breakdowns. Alright guys, the next one, something I just started picking up this past summer, frog fishing. This one's a Spro. I believe the color is tropical white or Caribbean white, but this thing caught me many fish this summer. It was a great time to start using them. Didn't have much of a choice. The bay, Northern Bay, Gunpowder River, Susquehanna River, Susquehanna Flats, all 90% covered with matted vegetation, so it was pretty much this or this. So, working a frog takes a little bit of patience, takes a little bit of practice. Great thing is you can fish them through anything. Again, I had another one close to a PB off of this particular frog. I'll overlay a picture for this one as well. All it takes is a couple big blow-ups or a couple big strikes on a bait with confidence in it. This is one I'm definitely confident in. This summer is anything like last summer, and we are swallowed up by matted grass. I'll be throwing this thing again. Alright guys, I don't have much in the way of confidence in finesse baits, finesse fishing. Likely because I never had good finesse gear. I never had a good high quality spinning rod. If you guys saw the video, or not the video, the intro, the spinning rod I have now is an X-Pride, a Shimano X-Pride, 7-foot light plus. Thing is phenomenal. But the one confidence bait I did have for finesse was a tube jig. Simple to fish, super simple, can teach anybody to do it. Has such erratic action, especially in the pre-spawn. Fish come unglued for these things. In Loch Raven Reservoir, this from April to the middle of May is just something I keep tight onto a spinning reel at all times. It's that powerful of a finesse bait. There's not a whole lot to go over as far as how to work it, how to fish it. It just works. I don't think you can really do it wrong. You can drag it along the bottom. These little tentacles are going to be flaring and flailing all over the place. You can pop it up, and it's going to really have like this swirling action coming down with the tentacles flaring. Just a ton of erratic action, and it just works. It just plain gets bit. White with black fleck has been my go-to color. Finally, if I can only have one, this one is it. Green pumpkin works great. Black with red flake works great. But this is the one that I would throw if I had no other choice. Alright. So we are down to the last confidence bait. Want to get one honorable mention in there though. It almost feels like cheating because of how many different ways you can throw it, how many different ways you can rig it, how easy it is to fish. But a Senko, Gary Yamamoto Senko, 5 inch, 6 inch stick bait. Phenomenal. Tons of confidence in that. But that felt like a very generic confidence bait, so I left it out, but definitely love fishing Senkos. Last one, the walking bait. This one is a Super Spook Junior. Walking baits are fun. When you learn how to walk the dog, when you get that rod twist just right, you can pitch it up right next to cover and walk it out. This thing is dynamite. You'll get so many blow-ups, and that feeling of, frog fishing or popper fishing or top water in general, that blow up, there's just nothing else like it. The blow up on the top water is it's an addiction. So the Spook Junior is about as small as I will go with a walking bait. Anything smaller than this, I'd probably just throw a popper. But this is a smaller version, Spook Junior. Kind of get an idea here. Full size Super Spook, probably about an inch bigger and about 30% wider in diameter, just kind of going off the top of my head. But again, learning how to walk these and getting good tip action, getting these things to kind of walk side to side and barely moving back away from the cover. So you're going side to side a ton, but you're barely moving forward. Stays in the strike zone for a long time. Phenomenal option. All throughout the summer, as long as the grass isn't all the way up to the surface. Early morning, first light. Late evening, last light. Top water baits are phenomenal. Alright guys, those are my 5 baits that I have a ton of confidence in. Now I've got some that I need to gain confidence in. I need to be able to add to my repertoire to feel more complete as a fisherman. First one, just a jig. I've never been much of a jig fisherman, but I've got to learn. They catch fish, they catch size, they catch numbers. They're so good. I can't say enough about them, but I have zero confidence in them. I've just never fished them enough, never gave them enough time to really put the work in to get confident in them. So this winter I stocked up on a bunch of different jigs, and I'm going to force myself to throw some. Next one, or next two, are both, again, finesse baits. Ned rig. The Ned rig is super simple. I mean, I don't think there's really any way to mess it up. And primarily with a Ned rig, you get these little 3-inch TRD worms, or 2.75 inch. These are peanut butter and jelly. Seem to work pretty well. Very small, very finesse, easy to use. I think my biggest problem is not imparting too much action. I have this incessant need to put more action on it than when it needs to be. Finesse fishing is subtle, it's light, very light line, so I just gotta get better at it. Takes the time, get confident in slowing down and knowing that even slowing down where you feel like you're not imparting any movement at all, you'll still get bit on those slow days, on those days where the fish are just lethargic and not active. And that goes right into a shaky head as well. I love a shaky head with a screw lock, and that'll stand up. The intro fish that I caught was on an interesting combination, and I don't know if you guys have tried it. Let me know if you have. But I rigged up a small 2.8 inch Kitech on a shaky head and just let it sit nose down, and just the current put enough little wiggle in it, and it looked like it was just feeding on bottom. Pop it up, the tail starts to paddle real hard, comes back down, tail paddling, and then just looks like it's kind of feeding on bottom. I never thought of that before as far as putting a paddle tail on a shaky head, but obviously for that scenario it worked. Let me know what you guys think, if you've tried that before, if you've done anything similar to that. It just seems something interesting and noteworthy to point out. The next two, it's going to be similar, but just different ends of the spectrum. Small segmented baits. This is the Buka Baby Bullshad. I know in the fishery where I'm at, be it the reservoirs or the bay, there are large bass in this area. 6, 7, 8 pounds. I'm sure the state record's in the bay somewhere. 11, 12 pound largemouth somewhere in the northern bay or in the reservoirs. So the right time of year, you can fish for one bite on a big, glide bait, big swim bait, big Huddleston, something along those lines. This is a smaller one. This is something you can fish. You catch your 2 pounders, 3 pounders, and hit numbers on this. On the other end is the big boy glide baits. So this one is a Schultz blank, and I painted it myself. Tested it yesterday. Swims beautifully. This is my first bait completed with paint, clear, hooks, all that jazz, and test it, and it works great. So I can't wait to use this. I don't think there'd be anything cooler than catching your PB on a bait that you put together yourself. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Let me know what you think. Please, if you liked it, throw a like down there, subscribe. I'm trying to get more content out more often, keeping it at least a video a week. Try to get 2 a week when possible. But yeah guys, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of action this summer. See ya.